materials for this project are easy to come by. A couple of long boards, 5 or 6 feet long. I'm using 2x2 pine stock. You'll need a level. I've got a 4-foot level here. The longer the level, the better. You'll need a tape measure, a couple of spring clamps, your label maker, some zip ties, or your West Marine Velcro straps. So the first thing you got to do is get your ladder, a 6-foot ladder. A 6-foot ladder. All right, I think we've beat that joke enough. Get your 6-foot ladder on line with your air conditioner. Typically, on a Class B van, the air conditioner is the highest thing on the van. I'm not talking about antennas of any kind. Those are typically flexible, and we're not worried about them. I'm talking about the air conditioner, the hard covered shroud of the air conditioner. This step is optional, but I highly recommend it. A blanket, a rug, anything that's soft and smooth, a couple of clamps. In my case, I'm using the rug that was left over from one of my Pleasure Way inventions. And I've got a couple of spring clamps, and what I'm doing is I'm clamping the rug to my roof rail, which I have installed here. You all saw that. I think it was Happy George that installed the roof rail, but I haven't put it to use yet. I'm going to be using that for solar panels on this van. All right, so now we got the van covered and protected, right? The next step over here is to grab one of the pieces of 6 feet wood that you have. I like these 2x2s. They behave very well. You're going to put this on the paint tray of your 6-foot ladder. Not up here, down here. If you put it up here, it's too close to you when you're up on the ladder, and it's going to cause you to fall backwards. Don't ask me how I know that. So, in this instance, we're putting it down on the paint tray, and you clamp it to the ladder. It should be as close to vertical and plumb as possible, but it's not important that it is. Now, this is going to give you a little bit of trouble. So what I would suggest, if you have a work glove, take a work glove and put that down on the paint tray, and then put your wood on the work glove. Apply a little down pressure on this piece of wood as you clamp it in, and that offers a little friction. That offers you a little something to help you. Another option, if you have a piece of sandpaper. Now, you can't just fold the sandpaper in half and use it that way, because then the paper backing is against itself and it's slippery. You need to fold the sandpaper in thirds or roll it, so you've got sandpaper touching sandpaper, okay? Once you've got that accomplished, you could take your piece of wood, put it on the sandpaper, and clamp it with a little down shot as you do it. Now, you've got some assistance. The next step is you get your other 2x2 and you get your level. Now, in my case here, I'm using a 4-foot level. The longer the level, the better, the more accurate this is going to be. 6-foot level, 4-foot level. You could use a 2-foot level, but I prefer longer. Do not, under any circumstances, use a little torpedo level, okay? This is only to be used to level your refrigerator in the van when you're parking. If you've got an absorption refrigerator, you put this in the freezer floor, and if that's level, nothing else matters. Okay, we're taking this level and we're going to flush it up to one side of this piece of wood. Now, to attach it to the piece of wood, you could use zip ties, okay? But I have my West Marine Velcro straps. I told you all to get these Velcro straps. You remember that. And this is one of the reasons why. They're very versatile. All right, now you see what I did? I've got the level flushed up to the outboard edge. We're bringing this thing up the ladder, okay? Now it's a 6-foot ladder. I don't have to come all the way up to the top, but here's what we're gonna do. We're taking the piece of wood, which is unencumbered on its bottom edge. The strap is not in the way of seating that piece of wood on the air conditioner, on the top of the air conditioner. Now, we just raise and lower this until the level tells us we're level. And then you put your clamp in place, okay? Now, having done that, we've got our vertical pole nice and steady on a 6-foot ladder. We have our level mounted to the outboard side. Why outboard? We don't need to do all our work inboard and risk scratching or hurting the van. That's why you need at least a 5-6-foot piece of wood to get that measurement out here, outboard. So you understand what's going on here. The bottom edge of this piece of wood, now that it's level and it's struck from the top of the air conditioner cover, this part right here is at the same height off the ground as the top of the air conditioner. Now you get a tape measure. Of course, I got to go down there and get the tape measure. So should I cut and go down? You know, I do a little bit of planning, but I don't really go full tilt. I kind of wing it. I'm a ready, fire, aim kind of guy. All right, I'm back. So now, if you have a helper, you can take your tape measure and put 0 up against the bottom of the wood and drop the tape measure down, and your partner can read it. If you do not have a partner, you turn it around and you take 0 down to the ground. Let it just kiss the ground. No kinks or bends or bows in the tape. And then you look at your measurement. In this case, it's 9 foot 8 inches, 116 inches. 9 foot 8. Now, this piece of wood came from the Home Depot. So it was speed grown in some manufactured forest. And it may not be perfectly straight. So 9 foot 8, I'm going to add an inch. I'm going to say my van is 9 foot 9 because I'm taking into account the fact that there may be a bow in this piece of wood. It can't hurt, okay? We bought ourselves 1 more inch of clearance. 9 foot 9. Next step, you get your label maker and you make a label. We all have label makers, don't we? How else do we all know what's what? And where am I going to put this label now that I made it? Right here. I'm going to put it right up here. It's out of the way, but it's in your face when the van is moving. Repeat it like a mantra. 9 foot 9. 9 foot 9. 9 foot 9. 9 foot 9. 9 foot